Hello, my favorite people. Today I would speak about one book that I finished to read this week. So, this book called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And first I will start with how I found this book. So, my friends, they gave me as a present to my birthday. I asked them for one of the options that would be nice for me. They give me a certificate for the bookstore, and the principle is that I'm coming to the bookstore and there are certain limitation how many books I can take for the certain price. And then I went to the bookstore and I select a lot of books, I think, and then I was like, okay, there are some books still I can take, which one to take, and one of the book was this one. And yeah, that's how I come to this book. So I found it directly in the bookstore, and the thing that catch my eye was the decoration, that it was a bit old-fashioned decorated, and I like that. So coming to the book of Napoleon Hill. The interesting thing is that when you start reading this book, there is a certain impression that I felt and that I got is, okay, this story about the man who met Andrew Carnegie, and Andrew Carnegie met him first time or several times and asked him, hey, please interview most successful and rich people, and then make these interviews and then make an analysis, a formula of success, how to get rich, how to think and get rich. And I was thinking, like, in real life, is it really working like this? Is it really like the people are coming and doing this kind of stuff of sharing certain experience like this? So there was to summarize, there were certain facts and certain situation in this book that are questionable. It was really existing or not. It was really things were going like was written in this book. Probably yes, probably no. So far as I read also in the internet, there was no real factical data and real facts with detailed interviews or detailed photos that took place. And that was strange and interesting. Why? If there was certain research, then should be some documents that should be saved. And yeah, there was saying that, yeah, there was a fire in the house and everything was burned. But seems like there was still some feeling like, is it real truth, like what was inside this book or not, about the people with whom person was communicating, etc., etc., and the story about. But why I'm saying it to you, every time when you read something in internet, in social media, in books, think, how do you feel about that? Do you feel this is information that you can trust or not? And depends on that, you can go on. So I'm a kind of person who is always thinking and checking, okay, is it not really checking, like, is it real true or not, more checking about the things what I feel inside, if it's mirroring the things what I think, is it mirroring the overview that I have. So that's the first point that I want to tell you. And I wrote down in a paper sentences that I found interesting, and in my next video I will show you my method, how I remember certain things from different books that I read. I saw there are also some online tools to do that already, but I prefer old-fashioned paper one. So let us start. I will read the cards and I will tell you my point of view about that. So in this book that was written that the education I will just explain how I feel. I will not say a citat, I will just explain how I feel. So the education is not only the knowledge, it's the ability effectively to use this knowledge. And most of the time people are paid for the things that they are doing. So I really like that sentence. It's very interesting to think about that. Like, can you really put your knowledge that you're learning from school, from university, from different courses that you take, can you really implement it in your real life? And because many things that you learn, sometimes you don't use it at a certain point of time. And that's quite interesting how this phrase was written. Like, people are paid, or there is certain benefits then people are using their knowledge. So that was interesting phrase. So my paper went to the floor, so I have to take them out. Okay, that was the first page. The second one. So there was for that the richness is coming as a result of realization of concrete plan with a big desire that it will go and it will be realized with continuous intention of doing that. So with this phrase, I agree. I would say that not exactly with the term of to desire something. I think it's more for me like a target. If you have a target and you put it and then you try to reach a certain goal. So with this thing, I agree. And if you're thinking about that all the time, so yes. The thing that I have another point of view is that in the book it was written like you have to write down on the paper how much money you want, and then you put it, and then you know, manifesting and looking on this number, and then this amount of number money will come to you. So I feel different about that. I feel like the money cannot be a source, they cannot be a target, they cannot be a goal of your life. The money is something like a source, it's something, a resource that make you have your dream. Like, you want to be healthy, you want to have a good life and travel around, so the money allows you to buy tickets, and the money will allow you to buy good food. So for me it's more a resource, and put it as a goal, that this is my goal. I have another point of view, and in my previous video I will put the pop-up here. You can see and watch more about that, my point of view, and how really to write down the right formulation of your target, of your goal. So just click on that and check. The next one. Do not tell the world what you are gonna do, just show it. This is, I love. I think this is really my phrase. Because there are a lot of psychological fact that people say, just say your goal to most of the people, and then it will motivate you to do that, and it would motivate you to go through that and reach your goal. And I was feeling like this is a kind of pressure on the person that allows him to move forward. But for me, I don't feel the same. For me, it's better to reach my goal, and then when I already have a result, after some time, to share it with people who I trust, or maybe just keep it to myself, because I do it most of the time for myself, right? So already afterwards you're reaching the goal, then you're showing it to someone. That's my perspective. So I agree with this sentence. I like this sentence. The next one was like, due to the fear of criticize, many ideas were never planned or never realized. And that's real truth. Like when I was thinking about a lot of examples in life, and people were having some great ideas, and then another person said, forget about that, even don't think about that, it will not work, you will not do that. And every time when I hear something like this, I was like, why are you telling this to this person? You should not tell it. Like, just allow this person to make him, her, their mistakes. Allow this person to do that. And that's what I feel it's important. If you have some certain idea that you can realize just with yourself, maybe it's better to be careful with saying it to a certain person. So it's healthy to have a critic. It's healthy to have a critic and to understand how you can adapt your idea. But there's certain psychological structure of the personality. Some people, when they hear critic, they just close it, and they're like, no, then if this person say no, then I will not do that. So this is quite personalized, I would say. For me, when I want to hear a critic and point of view of the person, I know that whatever this person will say, I will accept that, and that will not stop me. So this is very, now I understand, this is very easy for me to do, because I know wherever this person will say, it will not stop me to do that, what I want, what I plan to do. Maybe I will adapt it, and maybe the critic or some new input that I got from this person, I will implement, but it will not stop me. So that's my thought about that. So the next one, also connected with other point of view. If during the process of decision making, someone is influencing you, like some foreign point of view, you will not succeed in your enterprise, etc. That's tricky question and tricky sentence, because sometimes it can be beneficial when someone is saying to you, don't do that because this is crazy. And then later on you understand, yeah, this is crazy. And I think it should be a balance. So if you have some decision making about your life and about yourself, it's important that you will take that. But if there's some other decision making, sometimes it's beneficial to also listen another point of view and accept it, and then decide by your own, should you do that or not. So I think in a relationship, when you have a partner, it can be hard if you are not listening to another point of view, right? So accepting another point of view is important in certain point, but surely if it's your life and you want to make certain things, yeah, stay with your point of view and change it when it's necessary, that you think it's necessary. The next one. So, also interesting point. So, there is no person who can have a real power if he don't have a support from the brain center. So there was a certain team, and the author call it like brain center. So for example, imagine that there is a person, I will call him Tom, and Tom was thinking about a certain idea, and to support him, he had a team, like few people or maybe more people, with whom he was coming and saying, let us discuss that, which idea you have. And together, like all of these people together are building something. And this is very cool. So when you ask someone from your brain team, you are feeling like you're not alone, that there's people who have the same vibe, the same mission, the same goal, the same ambition, and they're supporting you in your project and you're supporting them, so you're all together as a whole team. So that was the explanation and description of brain center. And honestly speaking, that's a bit it's a bit different point of view from the previous sentence, like do not listen any other point of view, like if it will influence your decision making. And then there is a second one about that, yeah, you have only the power with the brain center. So a bit two sentences that are black and white from my point of view right now, how I feel it. But I agree with that. And as far as I read and as far as I see, it's quite hard in our life to succeed in your project if you are totally alone, and if you cannot speak and share it with someone, and if there is a team who have the same mission, the same vibe, and they are stimulating you, you're stimulating them. So that's also hard, but this is also very, very great as far as I feel. So the next one was interesting. It was about like when the person is having a certain good results in your life, and it's happening only if you have three components in harmony. So it's love, romantic, and certain physical activities. You understand about which physical activities I'm talking about. So yes, and if you have these three components, it will get you super up. And it was also saying in this book, like, okay, every successful man had a very strong woman, and she was with him and supporting him and motivating him and blah blah blah. And I think that there is not only these kind of things that are giving you a motivation to be in the highest position. Love, surely. Romantic, yes. Physical, certain physical activity that you understand what I'm talking about, also yes. I have a feeling that there are also some other things in your life that can make you in this successful top level. As an example, what comes to my mind right now, like friendship. You have a very good friendship and that motivates you, this person motivates you. For example, this person is reaching certain goal and have certain success, and that motivates you, and you're like, yes, I will try the same, and you're sharing knowledge. So, and this is without jealousy. I'm not speaking about that. I'm speaking about true friendship, and that can really bring you up. Like you're supporting each other, and that can really bring you up. Yes, surely it's another kind of motivation, but I think there should be more researchers about that topic, which exactly things in your life can make you success and make you reach a lot of things in life. So I think last but not least, interesting one was about that the success after 40, and we're speaking only about men. And in the book, it was wrote down that there was not research still about women, and that's sad. Maybe right now there is some smart people who are making research about historical facts and etc. of women who made a success after, before 40, and wherever. The saying was that the one who had a success, real success, were very rarely having it before 40. And most of the time, they have this high success position in life when they come to the age after 50. And also they were saying that during 40 and 60, this kind of ages 40 and 60, it was a time when there is opening most of your abilities, most of your skills, etc., etc. Again, it was only research about men. And I was thinking, okay, this is very interesting. Like, I was thinking about a lot of scientists, famous people who got success, and I saw a lot of people who come to the success after 40. That's true. Maybe the point is that I wish to be written in this book, or maybe there should be other research, what people before 40, before 50, before 60 was doing that allows them after 40 to have this success. So because I think that would be very beneficial to understand exactly if there are any hypotheses, if there are any facts or tendencies, like people before 40, they were doing that, and there was 40 age old, and then after that they become famous, rich, etc., etc. So there were certain facts in the book and examples. I just want to highlight that for me, just for my knowledge about this research, if it was existing, it was interesting fact to have more data and knowledge. Okay, what people were doing before 40, that after 40 it just comes so great, etc., etc. What was a trigger point? I think that was most of the things about this book that I want to share with you. And sorry. And if you wrote this book, if you read this book before, please write in the comments what do you think about that. If there are any thoughts or emotion things that you have after reading this book. Tell in the comments if some principles in this book help you to have a success in your life. I think that would be very, very interesting for all of us to read your story and to understand how it worked in your life and what things you are doing. I hope that the knowledge and the feedback that I'm sharing with you will be useful for you. So yes, I wish you all the best.